Working while traveling is a dream for so many people, but does that mean that when you go on a vacation, do you have to be actually working while you are on your vacation? So if working while traveling is your goal and you're wondering how exactly it's going to work, sit down, we're gonna have a talk. Recently, I asked you on my Instagram stories, what is something you wanted to see of this little beach vacation that I was taking? And the vast majority of you said that you wanted to see how much time I actually spent working. So I will break down how much time I spent working every day during that 4-day trip. But before, I want to explain some things to give you some context. First of all, if you land a full-time remote job, you are going to be expected to work 40 hours per week. Now, it's all going to depend on the kind of job that you get and at what kind of company. For some jobs, like maybe customer service jobs or account manager, where you have to be in constant contact with clients, you might be required to work at their business hours. Depending on the time zone of the company or where the clients are located, then you might have to work at a specific schedule on a specific time zone, okay? My first remote job was hiring and recruiting candidates. So I had to interview a lot of potential candidates. I would call them or email them and be like, hey, can we meet up at such and such time? Of course, I would give them options during business hours, because even though I am a night owl, it would have been super weird if I told them like, hey, the options are 1 a.m. on a Tuesday. They would have been like, this company is maybe not so reliable, right? In some jobs, the options to make your own schedules might be a little bit easier and they might be a little bit more flexible, because let's say that you are a video editor. Maybe you have to turn in projects at a certain time and it doesn't matter when you complete them, as long as you complete them and you meet your deadlines. Now there are also companies that are async. They have asynchronous communication, which means that everyone's working in different parts of the world and they are not requiring immediate responses. So for example, if your boss emails you or texts you or calls you, you are not expected to pick up immediately because you are on the clock. It's async, so you work at your own time. So if you are trying to work while traveling, it's going to be a lot easier to do that if you have a job with a flexible schedule, because if you have a set schedule or a fixed schedule, then you are not going to be able to just pick up and go to the beach real quick and then come back, because you are going to be expected to be maybe in front of the computers or reachable at all times. And to tell you how much I work during my vacation, why exactly do I have to give you all this information? Well, because it's going to be different for everyone, depending on the case, depending if it's a full-time remote job, depending if you're a freelancer, or depending if you are a remote worker who owns their own business, like is my case. I didn't start like that. I was an employee, I had a full-time remote job when I started, but now 7 years later, I own my own business, so I can completely make my own schedule. So of course, it's a lot easier to travel and have a vacation when you make your own schedules. If you want to work remotely, comment below and let me know what would be your ideal situation. If you want to have a full-time remote job, maybe a part-time remote job, maybe you want to be a freelancer and get your own clients, or maybe you want to be a business owner and completely make your own schedule. So let me know what your ideal scenario would be. And if your goal is to land a remote job working for a company, I teach people how to do just that. I have a course called Land Your First Remote Job, in which I teach you step by step what you need to do in order to seem more ready and more competitive when you apply for remote jobs, so that you can land them and achieve your goal of work-life balance and flexibility and freedom, whether you want to work from home or while traveling. If you want more information about the course, you can start with an intro class that I have to the course. It's like an introduction to everything you will learn and you will see, and an introduction to remote work for those of you who are new at it. So the link is in the description, so go ahead and watch that video. It's free. So I recently took a 4-day trip to the Cancun area. I went to different places in that area. You all wanted to see exactly how much time of my vacation I was working and doing things in my phone or in my computer. So let me show you. For a second there, I thought about not bringing my computer on this trip because it's only like a 4-day trip, but today's Thursday. the day where I upload my YouTube video and the day I send out my newsletter. And I have a few other things to do, like send out some resumes. So I was like, nope, I'm not brave enough to leave my computer at home. So I brought it. It's here. And I have this bag. That's all I'm traveling with today. I've been laying down here sunbathing for about 3 hours, but I just took like maybe 20 minutes to create some TikToks, which is considered work because it is marketing and content creation. I'm at this same like pool rooftop place, and I just went over there to the seats and I sat down for like 20 minutes to do Instagram stories, make sure the YouTube video was uploaded properly because I had scheduled it yesterday. So we're good to go on that, and I just promoted it a little bit on my social media, and that's all for now. So 20 more minutes. Back in the hotel room, and right now I have to send out Remotify resume, and every Thursday I send out a newsletter with legit remote jobs. So I need to write that right now and send it over to all of you. So let's see how long this takes. Did 1 hour of work like this. Now we're done for the day. Today's Thursday. Friday, 7 a.m. I just came down for breakfast by myself because my friend is still sleeping, but I had to get some work done really fast because today we're going on a full day trip to an island where I won't have internet, so I have to take advantage of the internet I have now. So breakfast and like 30 minutes of work and we're good to go. My friend Laura is a remote worker too. She has a call and she couldn't escape at 8:30 a.m. so she's gonna take it right here. It'll be like 30 minutes. Every Friday night since 2019, I've been posting what I call Remote Gig Fridays in my Instagram stories, where I basically share legit remote jobs so that everyone can apply to them. I research them and I post them on there. So that usually takes from like 30 minutes to an hour. I just did that, and I did a few more Instagram posts, TikTok, all of that. So that's all the work I've done for today. I haven't really worked today, aside from posting a few things on social media, and yeah, that's it. I haven't worked today, so good. Oh, I just switched hotels to a new all-inclusive resort, so there's a lot of food. I've been eating a lot and just chilling. Yay. Today's our last vacation day, but we're leaving like at 11 p.m. so we have all day to chill and rest and be like this. So am I working today? No, señorita. Not happening. So there you have it. That is how much time I spent working during my 4-day little vacation. So give this video a thumbs up if these are the kinds of things that you would like to see from me, and if this was interesting to you. Now here are a few things to keep in mind about how much time I worked in that little vacation. Number one, this was a 4-day trip. Of course, it is a lot easier to pull off working only 1 hour a day when it's a 4-day trip, because if it was a 1 month long trip, you can't just work 1 hour per day every day for a month, because then you wouldn't have a job. Number two, it was definitely not always like this for me. When I started working remotely, I had a full-time remote job with a set schedule. So if I wanted like free time like this to take a vacation, I would have had to ask for time off like you do at any job. Number three is that I am now a remote worker who has a business, and I get to make my own schedules, but it wasn't always like that. When I started, I had a full-time remote job with a fixed schedule. So how much time you get to really be off during your vacation is going to depend on different things. And if you have a flexible schedule or not, if you work at async communication, and if you're actually off, or if they're expecting you to be available. Number four is I usually take weekends off, and 2 of the days in this 4-day vacation were weekend days. So yes, I was it was easier for me to be off on those days. In the case of my friend Laura, who is also a remote worker, but she has a full-time remote job, she did ask for some days off for our vacation, but she's a project manager and there was a project that they were finishing right that day, and this call was scheduled way before we had the trip planned. So she couldn't really get off of being in that call. That's why you saw her there struggling to get Wi-Fi and get on a call while we were on our way to an island. In my case, the reason why I was able to be so off most of the days is because I planned ahead. So for example, the things that I had to do on Thursday, I did them on Wednesday. So the YouTube video, I scheduled it on Wednesday and I had everything ready to go. And Remote Gig Friday, which is when I share legit remote jobs in my Instagram stories on Fridays, I had that already planned since before. So yes, I had to stop and do certain things, send some emails, send some remotified resumes that were already done before. Was easy because I planned ahead. If you're interested in working while traveling and you've been maybe imagining what it would be like to be a digital nomad, I have a video that you should go watch next. It's called I Quit Being a Digital Nomad. So watch that first before you make any decisions, okay? So here's this video, go watch it next.